Hi everyone, welcome to Life Tips by Ning. In today's video, I'm sharing 3 case studies for daily master young metal born in the spring season and how to analyze their Bazi chart. So this first example, this is a young metal person born in the month of February, which is a Yin Wood type of earthly branch. So the annual pillar is a Yang water and water. The monthly pillar is a Yang water and wood. The daily pillar is a Yang metal and metal. And the hourly pillar is a Yang metal and earth. So the first step is let's assess the condition of this metal. Is it fairly weak or strong or in a balancing state? So in order to do that, we're looking for elements supporting metal, either like a earth growth metal or another same as me metal type. So on the bottom row, directly underneath itself, it says the same as me element, making me strong. And then this earth is the wet earth type, which is really good to grow metal. On top of it, positionally, I have a neighbor right next to myself. So even though I don't have the support of this position number 6, which is the most weighted factor in the Bazi chart, I have a bunch of really strong supporters clustered next to myself positionally. So this Bazi is actually in that kind of a balancing middle range. It's not too strong. Maybe it's leaning a little bit on the weaker side, but because of this cluster of supporters, is fine. It's in a kind of the middle zone. So in that case, my original condition is fairly good. I really want this yin fire to melt away my rough like the wasteful materials outside of me, so you can reveal this precious metal inside. But unfortunately, this Bazi chart, I cannot find any fire type of element, even yang fire, right, to warm up the environment, nothing. All the remaining players are either wood or water. So, and we know February is still kind of leaning towards that cold and wet climate. And because of this lack of fire to warm up this environment, this overall Bazi chart is too cold and wet. And the major disease is too much water, right? Kind of muddy up the earth material and make it less ideal for this young metal to grow and develop into a very useful form. So that's kind of the imbalance here, is too much water and lack of fire to warm up the whole Bazi to make it balance. And unfortunately, you have a disease diagnosed, but there's no medicine, there's no treatment of fire seen anywhere. This is not a super good Bazi chart. How that translates into this person's life is he or she really needs to wait for that fire type of environment, like an annual trend or 10-year trend, to be introduced to benefit from that balancing Bazi, so that it's actually easier for that person to achieve either a peace of mind, happiness, or achieve certain goals in life. But unfortunately, because you're so reliant on those yearly or 10-year trend, and those trends goes up and down, which is the same for everyone. There's nobody who have a consistent same element. It keeps on rotating. That's why it's not sustainable. But overall, I would say this person's life is just not as good or positive as a starting condition as other Bazi. The next one is a young metal born in the month of March, which is a Yin Wood earthly branch. So the annual pillar is a Yang metal and metal. The monthly pillar is a Yin earth and Yin wood. The daily pillar is a Yang metal and Yang wood. And the hourly pillar is a Yin fire and Yin earth. So it's the same step. First one, let's assess the condition of this daily master. I have a metal. It's, even though positionally it's removed from myself, but still it's the top and bottom are connected. that means it strengthens the metal's energy in that pillar. And then I have a earth, which is the wet earth type growing myself, and another wet earth right here supporting myself. So this is still like in a balanced zone. It's not a too weak of a daily master to begin with. And the beauty of it is, let's look at what type of earth it is. They're both the yin earth and wet earth type, which is more ideal to produce young metal versus the dry earth type, which has a risk of making the mineral rock or metal too fragile and break it. So in this case, because they're both of the wet earth type, it's just not as necessary to see water as a player because I'm already a wet earth to begin with. I really actually want fire to either warm up the earth and do that refinement job of refining this daily master. The remaining, the wood and fire, even though they're energy reducing myself, but they're actually usable players in this puzzle to keep it in a balancing state. The most important factor in this example is this yin fire. It is a very awesome thing to show up to not only warm up the whole bazi condition, but also does its job of refining the raw material. That's why this bazi really likes yin fire. And it also nice to see it has wood to support fire and keep it kind of less risky to be suppressed by like wetness or too much water type of condition. So overall, this is a way better bazi chart because it has the player and it doesn't have the disease of too much water like the first example. And then this person is less reliant on those external environment to introduce the favorable element because he already has it. The key factor of analyzing this person's chart is to make sure this key player is protected. The moment your annual or 10-year trend introduce something that collide with it, suppresses it, making it weak, that's when this person might experience some challenging times in life. Last but not least, this is a young metal person born in the month of April, which is a young earth type of earthly branch. So the annual pillar is young metal and young water. The monthly pillar is young metal and young earth. The daily pillar is young metal and young metal, and the hourly pillar is young water and fire. This is a tricky one because first is a non-standard type of bazi because essentially there are two major elements showing up. That's a non-standard of bazi to look at versus the traditional way of gaining balance. And the second is, if you're not super familiar with bazi, you wouldn't be able to pick out this special combination relationship. Those three earthly branches of young water, young earth, and young metal, they form this special combination, meaning that it morphs some of the qi of this metal and water and earth all into supporting water. So essentially, you reduce the metal and earth and increase the water element. Because of that, and then on top of it is either metal or water, right? The two main dominant element in this example is both metal and water. That's it. So in that case, it's a non-standard bazi type, meaning you really want to focus on maintaining the balance of this water and metal. You don't like to see other element to mess with this original balance and the pureness of the bazi. That's why this fire is a problem here actually, because it's so tiny. You're fighting with the strong water, right? One above it, a bunch of like a whole enemy of water next to it. First of all, its original condition is fairly weak. Why would you show up to anger all of this strong water surrounding yourself? It's not gonna do any job of having any chance of winning the fight with this strong massive water surrounding you. I'd rather not see it, but follow the chi of this original water and metal pureness energy in this chart. That's why this bazi is almost like perfect. I wish this fire could be replaced by either a metal or a water, and that will make this bazi the perfect non-standard type. Um, and then that person is, the whole goal is to preserve the pureness of this metal and water energy. But unfortunately, this person has one little noise factor kind of going against the trend, and that's creating some issues. That's why when this person experiences a yearly or 10-year trend that totally get rid of this fire, maybe another yang water colliding with this yang fire, that's actually a good thing, because you extinguish this little noise factor in your chart and support the pureness of the chart. And that's how you see the so-called favorable versus unfavorable trend in this person's life. But here are just some 3 quick case studies. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time. Bye.